So this is kind of an experimental video. We just grabbed real opinions from Reddit about Henry Cavill joining the new Warhammer 40k series, and we're reading them out loud, one after another. Let's get into it. Henry Cavill has confirmed that he will star in the live-action Warhammer 40k series being written by Mike Flanagan. Who exactly he will play is still being kept secret. What do you think Henry Cavill will play?
Honestly, dude can't act to save his life, so I don't have high hopes for this.
Honestly, I think it should be Cain. Space Marines are not human, and the human trying to play one would just not look right.
How many years are they going to talk about this project? They've been saying this since Witcher Season 2. I'll check back in 6 months for the next Henry Cavill super duper confirms he's still doing a Warhammer show.
Mike Flanagan? That's a bit disappointing.
Mike Flanagan? That's surprising. This doesn't seem like something he'd be into. I am very interested to see what he'd do in 40k.
It really can't be Space Marine based and live action. Even the best cosplay Space Marine costumes still look goofy when moving around. Same with the power armor in the Fallout series. It's gotta be Eisenhorn or Cain. No Space Marines, no Custodians, no Primarchs. Learn from the Halo TV series. If Space Marines are going to be in it, it should be an epic moment where they swoop in, kick ass, and take names. They don't hang around for long, so their presence has so much more weight to it. My bet is Eisenhorn, since they could give a broad glimpse into the wider Warhammer world.
I think they are adopting an existing story. Henry's been mentioned to be very strict about people showing him where in the books the idea is coming from.
Cavill now has DC, a video game adaptation, Marvel, and 40k. If he gets on Star Trek and Star Wars, he'll have all 6 Infinity roles, and he'll be unstoppable.
Ciaphas Cain would be pretty great. Cavill has excellent low-key comic timing. I'd love to see it.
I hope he pisses everyone off and voices a Necron.
I know there's plenty of material to adopt, but I honestly hope it's something original and he plays a brand new character.
He's going to be Eldrad Ultramarine. Imagine the outrage.
Since nothing proves it wrong, I'm just going to assume he's playing John Warhammer, and he'll have a trusty sidekick named James Workshop.
A secret? I've got it. He's Alpharius. It doesn't matter what he later says he's playing, it's Alpharius. It doesn't even matter once it's released and he appears as Guilliman or Eisenhorn or whoever, he's still secretly Alpharius.
Put a little stubble on, smooth the hair back, add some studs to that head. He is Titus from Secret Level, 1000%.
Imagine if the curveball is that we're starting with the Horus Heresy, and he's playing either Horus or the Emperor of Man. If we get dropped into the 41st millennium, there's so much lore to cover, starting at the Horus Heresy is a more digestible starting point.
My wildcard theory? They bought the rights, and it's an adaptation of the All Guardsmen Party RPG story, and we're all imagining he's a hero of the Imperium, when in reality, he's Soldier 03457318567.
It really should be a generic Ultramarine in the 41st millennium, and then we follow his career across multiple seasons as he rises through the ranks. Opening with Valdor or a Primarch would be complete madness.
The only possible and real hero of the Imperium, a random Space Marine captain.
If I was a betting man, it would be a very grounded show based in the setting. A lot of humans, either Inquisitors or Guardsmen. First season will most likely be a test bed to see if it's popular, and if it is, Amazon will greenlight more money for the next season. They are going to subvert all expectations, and he's playing Gozkul in Greenface. The biggest plot twist would be him showing up in the intro only to die in the first 2 minutes and be replaced by the actual main character. Regardless of whoever he plays, this will most likely be a make or break moment for live-action Warhammer 40k TV adaptations. Cavill will do the world building. The Deathwatch animated series will be for those who don't care about world building and just want the Space Marines.
40k fans be eating good. 40k Dawn of War 4 in September, Total War Warhammer 40k in March 2027, the Secret Level anime series on Amazon, and now this!
I genuinely hope Cavill is a side character who appears throughout the shows, but either way, I'll probably be happy.
Anything from Dan Abnett will be super successful and feasible for adaptation, Eisenhorn or even just Ravenor.
The first book in the Eisenhorn trilogy is probably the best book to get into the larger universe of 40K. I'd say so for larger audiences too. Gaunt has a lot of source material as well.
I think there should be stories where the Space Marines are limited, only mentioned, or not featured at all. And if they are featured in live action, they'd better be well done, expensive effects, so not featured much.
He'd make a good orc.
Servitor Beta 8364 Gamma 495839 dies within the first 2 minutes of appearing on screen.
I hope it's Eisenhorn. It's the grounded version that can slowly explain the 40K universe. Now, who plays Elizabeth Beckwin?
My guess is he'll portray Big E and either mocap or makeup as some Primarchs for cameos and major story points.
I'd love to see him as Valdor, and since Mr. Cavill is, in real life, peak humanity, it'd be the perfect fit. Also, he loves and lives Custodes. It has to be one. Maybe some no-names would be good? I don't know about you all, but I'm kind of tired of seeing known faces in every different IP. It'd be jarring to see any celebrity face in a Warhammer setting. I still think he should be Ciaphas Cain, with Rowan Atkinson playing the old Ciaphas Cain.
Late to the party, but if it's existing canon, maybe he plays a young Ravenor pre-Thracian Primus, brief bit, then just as voice lines for enthroned Ravenor, to accommodate the busy schedule of a high-profile actor.
It's going to be a Space Marine, either new or pre-established.
GW isn't about to let their first foray into live action be anything but their flagship line. Shall remain a secret for now. Alpharius. I hope Cavill is happy, but honestly, I have no clue who he'll be playing. So Eisenhorn, Cain, a random guardsman, or Alpharius pretending to be someone else entirely. Drop your bet in the comments and we'll see who was right when this thing actually comes out.
Most likely he's changed his stance, especially with horror mastermind Flanagan writing it. Based on his previous work, he'll probably take a story about regular humans and show them in conflict with ideas bigger than their imagination. And honestly, I welcome that approach. It shows off the grim dark essence of the universe. Darktide is objectively more Warhammer than Space Marine 2. Not big and flashy and gilded, but dirty, grimy, treacherous, and terrifying.
Astartes would be cool to see in live action, but I'd be fine if they were just mentions, just ideas the characters talk about. If they are shown, they need to convey that transhuman dread and stay in the shadows, just glimpses. Having them around as a staple would honestly disservice what Space Marines are supposed to represent.
I don't really know what a show about the Astartes would even look like. Probably a bit generic, just massive people beating up smaller and bigger things. Not much room for nuance. What I do know is they're writing this for people completely unfamiliar with Warhammer, so I think they'll take the Harry Potter approach. Drop a human into the world, explain it through their eyes, someone as new to it as the viewer is.
I'd honestly love a Darktide approach. You're a criminal in horrible conditions. Can't get worse. Press gang to fight horrors beyond your feeble comprehension. You hear stories of Space Marines, of heretic Astartes. I want to see tech priests and arbiters, psychers and mutants and sorcerers, daemon hosts and ogrins, all the things that keep the day-to-day Imperium turning. I'd be fine if I never saw a Space Marine, but I'd be fine if they included them too.
This is the way to do it. To non-fans, Space Marines just look like off-brand Star Wars stormtroopers. The challenge is to communicate, yes, these are good guys, but they're still absolutely terrifying genetic monstrosities. Build them up slowly before we ever see one in live action. It should feel harrowing the first time we see an Astartes in live action.
I agree that when it comes to Warhammer 40K, it's always Space Marines, deep down. The only reason I could see the live-action show focusing on something else is budget concerns. Plus, the animated show is already going to be Space Marine focused, built around the Deathwatch, an elite group that hunts down alien threats. So I can see budget concerns, plus not wanting to shove too many Space Marines in front of a new audience, pushing them toward an Inquisitor story instead.
The best 40K novels are the ones that follow lesser characters. I really hope we don't get a Primarch. Xenos was the first 40K novel I read, and the fact that 95% of the world building happens without Space Marines clomping around makes the world so much more grounded. I want to know what's going on in miscellaneous hive cities. How does a chaos cult affect a backwater world? How does the average citizen even regard the Emperor, the Administratum? There's a moment in Xenos when the reader first glimpses a Chaos Space Marine, and it's as jarring as it's meant to be. Its weird, outlandish design, the garish colors of its armor, the sheer size of it, the transhuman dread. Its rarity is what emphasizes the scale of the whole universe. Honestly, one of my favorite moments in all of 40K.
Jack Bonnet jokes in one of his forewords that the Black Library folks call the non-Warzone stories domestic 40K. Those make the absolute best stories, and they give the most insight into the universe. That's exactly the kind of thing we need from a 40K show, because just another humans versus aliens story is going to get lost in a sea of shows that all look the same.
So, grimdark humans in a hive city or angels of death dropping from the sky. Either way, I think we're all just hoping they don't rush it.